Welcome to another offering in our Caring for Caregivers program. Today I'm going to share some tips with you about how you can be intentional about creating nurturing relationships. Whether you're seeking guidance, craving connection, or looking to be a resource of support for your loved ones, it's really helpful to know exactly who in your circle you can turn to for different reasons and seasons. So for the first part of this exercise, I'm going to ask you to write down 2 lists. The first list will have the names of the top 3 people that you spend the most time with. Now here's the thing, this doesn't have to be people that you know in real life. This could be people whose TV shows you watch often, you listen to their podcast a lot, maybe you read their blog. This could be someone you follow on social media and you consume a lot of their content every day. This could literally be anybody who has an influence over your life because of the amount of time that you spend with them or their content or the things that they produce and share and put out into the world. So the first list is the 3 names of the people that you spend the most time with. If you need to, feel free to pause the video right here so you can take a moment to think about who those 3 people are and write their names down on your list. Now for the second list, I'm going to ask you to write down the names of the 3 people that you are closest to. Now, you might be saying to me, Dr. Joy, that is the same list of people. That's fine. If it's the same 3 people, leave your list as it is. No need to write their names down twice. But this could be people that you maybe don't get to see often, or you don't get to spend a lot of time with them, but you're close to them. It could be a family member, a friend that you grew up with, anyone that you feel particularly close to, even if you don't spend a lot of time with them. So again, this list may overlap with your first list, where one, some, or all of the names are the same, or it could be a completely different list. It's totally up to you. This is your list. 2 lists. The first one, the people you spend the most time with. The second one, the people you feel closest to. So you're gonna have up to 6 names on your 2 lists combined. If you need to, pause the video here, think about your names, and then come back so we can finish the exercise. Now that you have your 2 lists with up to 6 names, I'm gonna ask you to draw one of 3 shapes next to each name. So you're either going to draw a star, a heart, or a circle. A star represents someone in your life whom you see as a guide or a teacher or a mentor, someone that you look up to, hence the star up in the sky, right? The next one, the heart, is going to be someone who you feel like is walking alongside you on this life journey. Someone with whom you might have a heart-to-heart conversation because you feel like they just get you. They understand where you are, where you're going through, and where you're coming from. The third one is the circle. Think about this as the rim of a cup that you might pour into. The circle is someone to whom you are a guide, a teacher, or a mentor, someone who may be looking up to you. So again, next to each of the names that you have written down, you're either going to draw a star, because this is someone that you look up to as a guide, a mentor, or a teacher. A heart, because this is someone that you feel like you're doing this life journey alongside of them, that you can have a heart-to-heart connection and conversation with. Or a circle, the rim of a cup that you might pour into because you serve in their lives as a guide, a teacher, or a mentor. Take a moment to reflect on your relationships with these 6 names, or up to 6 names that you have written down on your lists, and think about whether or not this person is a star, a heart, or a circle in your life. Now, it's important with this exercise, as with all the others that we do, that when you move through the list and you do your heart, stars, and circles, that you're not judging yourself or the other person. This is simply an opportunity to do an assessment of the kinds of relationships that you have in your life right now. This is not to say that you are good or bad, or that any of the people are good or bad for who they are and how they are in your life. This is simply, again, a way for you to say, what kinds of relationships do I have? To give you an opportunity to think about, what kinds of relationships do I need? This way, you can begin to be intentional, and you can begin to seek out the types of relationships that might create a more fulfilling, meaningful, and impactful experience as you move through the different seasons of your life. So now, this is the part of the exercise where we do a little bit of reflection. Oftentimes we find ourselves in relationships by default. Someone we grew up with, someone who's a part of our family, maybe we work with them, whatever the case may be. So we're not often thinking about the nature of the relationship and how or if it serves our lives in any kind of particular way. So this is an opportunity to do just that. So the first question you might ask yourself is, how do I feel looking at my relationship map? Based on what I see, how many hard stars and circles are present or not present in my friend circle at the moment? The second question I want you to ask yourself is, what can I learn? Right? And so again, you may have noticed that I've been feeling a little bit lonely. And now looking at your list, you may see, oh, I don't have any hearts in my friend list. Maybe if you don't have any heart-to-heart connections, that could give you some idea about why you may be feeling lonely, and it may point you in the direction of trying to foster or nurture relationships where you feel connected to somebody who understands where you are and where you're coming from. So again, the first question is, what do I feel when I look at my relationship list? And what can I learn? How might this inform the ways in which I move about investing in, creating, and building relationships moving forward? Remember, none of us are on this journey alone, and so it's an incredibly helpful tool to be mindful of the company we keep so that we can smooth out some of the bumps in the road along the journey of life. I hope that you have found this exercise helpful and that you will revisit it whenever you need to and share it with others. Until next time, cheers.